Welcome to a little bit of a story time into 10 of my most memorable jewelry pieces. One of, if not the oldest piece of jewelry I own, and I believe this is the first pair of earrings I own. This is actually from Yunnan, which is a southern province in China. I visited when I was in high school or maybe right after high school graduation. I can't exactly remember, but I do remember this was shortly after I got my first piercing. They had a lot of sterling silver jewelry, and this is my first kind of foray into just jewelry in general. I didn't really at the time understand the difference between sterling silver and any other silver colored jewelry. I just really love the design of this. I feel like it really suits my frame, and also it's really fun. I love that it dangles, makes like just jingling sounds, which always just makes me really happy. I also remember during that time, the color turquoise was just really, really popular. This is a little time capsule of the early days, the start of my love for jewelry. This, I believe, is the first designer jewelry piece that I got for myself. This is a Cartier Love wedding band. And the reason this feels really special to me, not because it's something that everyone typically gets as one of their first jewelry pieces, but this was the first time I discovered Japanese reseller on eBay. And I had been just researching and just browsing eBay, especially the Japanese resellers, for months before I pulled the trigger because I wanted to make sure that they sell authentic stuff and I wanted to make sure it was a great deal. And if you don't know, in Japan, they have really, really strict restrictions against, reselling or just selling counterfeits in general. So there is almost 100% chance that you will get the authentic product. And that's why I really trust the Japanese resellers on eBay. And also, this ring, I think by the time I got this ring from eBay, it was maybe $1,300, $1,500, including tax. And I remember around $600 for this ring. So I basically got it at over 50% off. And this is when I realized jewelry, especially designer jewelry, especially rings, devalue so much because there's so many different sizes for the ring. So even if you have a very precious piece, the chance of someone else having the same ring size as you do and also wanting the same piece is just a lot lower than if you were to sell, let's say, watches or a necklace or a bracelet. So you oftentimes can get really great deals for designer rings. This third one I'm wearing on my wrist is just a very simple beaded bracelet. This was actually made by my old boss. Her name is Joy. So Joy, if you're watching, hello. She is also just my great friend. And I remember she made this for me when I literally just started my YouTube channel. And I was telling her about it. I was really excited. And I also told her that I would love to, hit 1,000 subscriber one day. Just to feel like I hit a little bit of a milestone on YouTube. And so she remembered that and she made me a little beaded bracelet to manifest it. And while I still have a very small channel and I'm so happy about it, every time I look at this bracelet, I just remember why I make YouTube videos. This is truly, purely my hobby. It's first and foremost for my own enjoyment. I truly just enjoy making videos and editing. So it kind of holds a special place in my heart because it resembles how I can always have this hobby so precious to me, and I don't have to worry about the monetary side of things because I never want this to be my full-time job. And so this is a little symbol of that. Very, very just simple ring. It is from Etsy. It is $20. The reason this ring also has sentimental value to me was this was one of the few times I feel like I really made a piece of YouTube content that is unique, that I'm really passionate about, and has seemed to be loved by more people than my usual content. So I've made a video about how to find affordable quality jewelry. I use this ring as an example to show how with the same design, from no name to, mid-tier to designer, big name, you can really see a huge price difference, even though the materials are more or less the same. So that was a concept that I just came up with by myself. I wasn't really inspired by any content out there, and I feel like it was unique, but it was also really, really helpful. I've received a lot of positive feedback on that video, and people found it to be really helpful for them. So it just also always reminds me to keep making content that is going to bring not only some entertainment value, but like really helpful information for you. Another piece that's kind of related to YouTube was this little diamond necklace from Jewelry. This was kind of a pinch me moment where I think I made a video comparing Majori, Masoma, and Monica Vinegar, and Majori, the brand, saw the video and reached out to me wanting to send me a couple of pieces. And I was like, at that time, I think I probably had maybe 2,000 subscribers. I just didn't think that they would care about, tiny YouTube channels like mine. It was a very exciting moment to me. And so, of course, I have to pick a very timeless piece that I can cherish and wear every day. A very, very simple, solid gold with diamond little necklace. I have worn this a ton. There is absolutely no wear and tear. That's the benefit of wearing solid gold and diamond. This next one has very much tarnished. I definitely don't think this is real gold. I don't even know if it's real gold plated, but this is a special one to me because I went to the Brooklyn flea market. I think I would say maybe 5 years ago. I had never gone kind of flea market shopping, and I came across this really cool jewelry stand, and they have a bunch of these like vintage jewelry. This is like proper vintage piece, and yes, it like tarnished pretty much right away. It's definitely not real diamond, but I just really enjoyed that little shopping trip that I did by myself. I just really love the process of almost treasure hunting jewelry. And I love that vintage jewelry pieces already have stories behind them. It makes me want to explore more vintage jewelry and just look at more imperfect pieces. This is a Tiffany bracelet. I have always wanted a something from Tiffany because I feel like it's, at least when I was at college, it was like the brand, especially for gifting. I think every girl I knew already had some like Tiffany pieces, and I finally got one as a gift. I have cherished it ever since. I love that on these Tiffany pendants on the back, it just says, please return to Tiffany and Co. However, I will say this is also the piece that stopped me from buying more sterling silver because I don't know if you can tell, but essentially, if you don't polish it, it'll just turn dark. I wasn't even wearing this bracelet. I was also storing it in like a storage box, but it still oxidizes super easily. That's just sterling silver. But once you polish it, it will become beautiful and shiny again. I just realized I don't want to go through the hassle. So, of course, I will keep this forever, and I will still wear it once in a while, after polishing, but it's just not a metal that I want to keep investing in, especially just knowing how much I would have to maintain and polish it. This next one is a really fun find. It's actually a recent find from Buffalo Exchange, a secondhand shop. It does say Dior, but I have like Google image searched this ring. I don't think Dior ever launched this design. I'm not sure. But I also just really love the design of like a red to pink ombre crystal in a heart shape. It just feels very me the second I saw this ring. And it is just perfectly my size. And it was $25. So I don't even care if it's actually from the brand Dior or it's a knockoff. I love the design enough that I just then bought it. This is also kind of around the time when I realized I really don't care as much to buy the most popular, or the most trendy, or the most classic jewelry piece. I just want pieces that speak to me because I feel like I've accumulated jewelry for a little while now that I probably have every single classic design in my jewelry collection already, but the ones that I keep bringing out to wear tend to be ones that look a little bit more unique, like a vintage piece or like a fun secondhand find. So this is a symbol of, keep chasing that personal style, keep bring out my personal taste to my outfits, to my jewelry, just styling in general. This I have featured in a couple of recent videos already. I also have a dedicated video showing 10 different ways to wear a brooch. And it is I think this must be, yeah, the only piece I've ever bought directly from the Chanel boutique from my, I think, layover in London Heathrow Airport one time. And I just decided for that year I wanted to treat, I think I bought my mom, my aunt, and myself each one of these brooches. I just felt like treating everyone, including myself. It was a nice just reward for a good, successful year. I always wanted to get a Chanel brooch. I just never found the design that really spoke to me. And this design is truly perfect. It's got like tiny hearts. It doesn't have any pearls or gemstones because I know I have heard they just tend to fall off. I can easily use this as like a pendant, pin it on my sweater, on my beanie, so many ways to wear it. I am so excited that the colder weather is here so I can, pin it on more places. Is it extremely overpriced for a not solid gold jewelry? Yes, of course. But I like to treat myself once in a while and be more motivated to make bigger achievements and then treat myself for those too. Lastly, I actually have these two rings. So they're both from the Missoma Harris Reed collection. My husband bought me both of these rings. Why they are special, not just because they are just the most beautiful design. I mentioned in my recent speed review video that one day, hopefully, I can just collect every single piece from the Missoma Harris Reed collection. This is the one and only collection ever in the world of jewelry that I would genuinely be so happy to have every single piece from. Another reason they're memorable to me was that they were priced at 70% off. Not during Black Friday, it was some maybe end of summer or something. It was like a random huge discount. But a couple months after, the price got reverted back to the original price. So either I got really lucky and found like a glitch deal, or it was just a random site-wide huge discount that happened to apply to these pieces. If there is a collection or a specific product you are eyeing, just keep refreshing the page because who knows, one day they might be on very good discount and you'll be able to snatch your favorite piece at also a very great deal. I hope you find a theme here. I am really obsessed with deals. Maybe I should do a dedicated jewelry video just to share my tips and tricks of finding jewelry deals. Let me know in the comments if that would be interesting to you.